Question 6, and very simple, find the value of the unknown. Okay, so they're giving us 2 points, M and N, and they're telling us that are 4 units apart. And here it's simple, but we need to understand what does that mean 4 units apart. So first, let's put those 2 points, M, we're going to put it here, and my point N randomly here. So they're telling us that those 2 points are 4 units apart. So that means that the distance between M and N is equal to 4. So in another word, what I'm telling you is D is equal to 4. But what is D? And here is when we definitely remember the distance formula that says x2 minus x1 all that square plus y2 minus y1 all that square, and both terms here are under the square root. So as we know, all those points here are my x, my y, I just have to replace. So the 4 points 4 units apart, so that means that is equal to, what is my x2? We're going to decide, okay, 1, 2, that's -1. -1 minus 3, all that square, plus y2, that's a, that's the unknown term, so that's the one that we need to find, minus y1, that is 2. So here I will first simplify what I have inside the square root if possible. So -1 minus 3, that's -4. If I square that, that becomes 16 plus, and here for this I'm going to leave the square, I'm not going to touch it yet. I'm going to leave the expression with the square, I'm not going to touch it yet, and you will see why. All that under my square root, and we know that should be equal to 4. So now we're gonna solve this. If I have a square root in one side of the equation, one of the easy way to simplify is by squaring both sides. So if I square, remember in system of equation, whatever you do in one side, you have to do in the other side. So if I square my left side, I should get 16. And by squaring a square root, I'm doing a simple simplification of the square root, and I will have 16 plus a, and now you're starting to understand why I left the expression that way, minus square. And now it's just a simple step to solve an equation. What I want to do is to isolate the unknown term that is here, the letter a. So I have an addition, so the first thing that I have to move is this 16 on that other side. So of course I'm going to do minus 16 in both sides, and this gets simplified, so this becomes 0. Okay, and I have my a minus 2 squared. So what I see here is I have a 0 value. So what I should have to make it through the equation, this should be equal to 0. So anything square that is equal to 0, that has to be a 0. So a minus 2 should be equal to 0. So if a minus 2 is equal to 0, I'm continuing with the steps to isolate my a in that case will be equal to 2, and this is my final answer. So now when I identify the value of a, I can find where n, the point n is. My n in this exercise was -1 and a is 2. There you go. Easy.